Make it 4 from 4 in these qualifiers. Can someone do anything about it? We're about to find out. The lights are out and away we go. A relatively even start. David Rowe made a bad start. Behind we've got contact, and that's Pardo and a couple of other drivers. Looks like maybe that's James Houston, maybe Matthew Hamilton, looking like they make contact at the back of the field. That's not the start they wanted. Let's follow the race lead though as they head through this threading the needle section. Paul Ferneyhough finds himself up into that second place though, so Turban is losing places early on as we watch the field flowing down through here into this sequence of left and right. So it's all spread out. David Rowe also struggling to keep his car in that mix as the front four have broken away, but it's the tail end of contact there between that was Racing, wasn't it, spinning off to the inside, and another purple car also. This told you the opening around of this is I warned the drivers about these opening sequence of corners, but did have some contact there. Hopefully they'll all be able to get their cars back up and running. We see Racing down and out. Whitehouse also one of those spinners. Looks like Racing's not going to get back. John Lang also losing places, and such these battles. Steve Arnell's come up all the way through to 8th place from I think 12th on the grid. David Rose sort of going down the grid as quickly as Arnell's rising up, and just in front of there's Tarbana, who does manage to stop the rot from those early corners. Wilby finds himself in 11th and still losing places as we watch this battle, and 3 wide coming down here into the chicane. Out front I can see Donkin's fighting with Ferneyhough right now, but it's David Rowe down the inside then, looking over Watson in the sandwich, and now Arnell watching on, taking a bit caution with plenty of time left in this race. There's no need to push the limits just this yet. So we've already seen David goes onto that curbing. I saw a car there briefly in the way. Hopefully that's all cleared away now as we head around this final corner. David Rowe does make it to stick in front of Watson then. Arnell loses out to Fowler. Fowler's one of our qualifiers, so he doesn't count for that qualifying position, but he's going to act as interference for the driver there. So Ollie Ricks and Chris Skillicorn a little bit further up the field here. Excuse me. So for the at 3rd place at the moment, Ollie Ricks, Skillicorn's already got his qualifying position, so Ricks finds himself in a qualifying position with Ferneyhough just ahead of him. Ferneyhough is tucked into the toe of Donkin. I imagine he's going to be very, very happy to keep hold of that for as long as he can, because that will help him draw away from the rest of this field. The toe in this on your line simulator happens from about half a second back, so Ollie Ricks will not be picking up a toe from the car of Ferneyhough ahead of him, but certainly Skillicorn is well and truly in his slipstream as they head down this long back straight. Then you're looking at our little map in the corner there, the sort of top end of the trunk, as I'll call it in the elephant sort of scenario, coming up towards the chicane, which makes the eye socket. And as they head down then, who's going to make the best of this? Skillicorn makes that place up then into 3rd place. Doesn't make any difference from that qualifying, and if Ollie Ricks has got his brain engaged, he'll know that he can just get dragged along by Skillicorn. Still dramas happening a bit further back. Heath Holt here just losing out a little bit, and in fact John Lang looks like he's going to make a place. So John Lang, having not made the start he made last time, but he's now going to be in front of Holt heading into lap number 4. It's a long old lap round this Atlanta track, 2.5 miles long, 4 kilometres. So yeah, sizable. There's John Lang back out on the grass on the outside there, so he's actually lost that place back again. So we watch them going off. But Ferneyhough is still very much in the wheel tracks of Donkin out front there in his number 24 car. Can he make that qualifying spot stick? He's been putting in the hours in the practice to make sure he's nice and consistent around this track, and he's finding all the speed he needs, isn't he? This is the longest that Donkin's had anyone for company in these races, and it looks like Chris Skillicorn's not too far off, wanting to join in with the party as well, and he's dragging Ricks with him. Taverner finds himself in that sort of middle ground, watching his mirrors to see David Rowe coming up behind. Taverner does take that 3rd qualifying spot so far, so he's going to have to keep an eye on the cars ahead of him. Ricks, I can see, is just getting back in front of Skillicorn as they head down this long drafting straight again, and it's Watson, Rowe, Fowler, Arnell, Wilby, Jude and Preble making up our top 12. We're watching John Lang a little bit forward. He finds himself in that 30. Too wide behind this Taverner car, with Watson coming back through, making himself the sandwich once more. But he's got Fowler now for company rather than Arnell. David Rowe in that DPR car, the red of Watson, heading through this final corner. You can see how critical it is to get that line absolutely right. It is a flat out corner. but if you get that line slightly wrong, you will end up on the grass, and if it's hit at the wrong angle, it can spit you into that concrete of the pit wall, which is never a good thing. One of the trickiest sections then, let's watch Watson head through this lively monsters the curve, and actually took far too much. That really killed the speed of that car, didn't it? And that let Fowler zip on past. Arnell's now looking to see whether he can come and join the party and overtake Watson. Arnell now into that 9th place. Watson drifting back very slightly as he maximises the use of the curb heading onto this lower trunk straight. Battles behind Alex Ball. We saw him having issues early on, didn't we? So what did happen to him? He dropped all the way back down into 16th. Kind of missed what happened to that. Maybe he was in some contact with the driver and needed to wait for them. It's one of our penalty systems we run here at CaterhamRacer.com. If there's any contact out there, then you must wait for the car that you contacted. It's to discourage any of that deliberate contact and make it more realistic to real life, where you would be penalised. And we have stewards as well who will review issues after the race if necessary to figure out if any of the subsequent penalties need to happen.